Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes the Week. If you want to catch latest Memes the Week videos, then subscribe to me over at MGTOWTV. Link is in the description. Plus you'll get content from people like Turd Flinging Monkey and Terrence Pop, just to name a few on the platform as well. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, Stoic Indifference. Fausto de Campo is the author of this book that teaches you basic mental discipline. They say that a mime is a terrible thing to waste, and so is your mind. Especially when you fall in love and put your mental well-being into the hands of a woman. Think for yourself, structure your thoughts, and improve your critical thinking skills. Pick up a copy on Kindle or paperback today. Sponsor link is down below. Anyways, now on with the memes. This week's first one is called Men vs. Women Survival Part 2, which I link to below, where women are on one island and men are on the other. And all the women do is complain, and meanwhile, in only 3 hours the men establish a basic society. Feminists want you to trust science. They just don't want you to trust the science with regards to biological differences between men and women. Moving on, we have two East Asian women practicing their BJ skills with a cockroach in a tube. The one on the right gets a bug blown down her throat. I don't know if this would be classified as bestiality or if it's just part of some stupid game. But what I do know is that the winner of this game is the one that you want to take to bed with you. Number 3, we have a carpet-munching couple that beat their 5-year-old son with a hammer and kicked him in the balls, causing him 2 strokes. And I think that finally there's some justice in this world if they go away for at least 20 years. He's going to have PTSD for the rest of his life. And by the time these two come out of prison, they'll be postmenopausal and post-wall. If a man did this to a girl, he'd be locked up for the rest of his life and have a broom shoved up his swing in the big house. This next video shows you that boys are training to be simps way too young. Everyone says this kid is a genius for switching the 2 balls. But he'd be even smarter to give her nothing and completely ignore her. You know, she's just going to throw the ball he gave her away in the trash anyway. The boy is acting like a simp, thinking he's not a simp. That's the worst thing about this. People said I didn't see the switch. I did, it's just that they don't understand the true nature of simping. Number 5, we have a conversation between a man and a woman, and she's pretty much interrogating him about his life, because she's not into losers. He tells her he owns his own house, has a full-time job and 2 cars. He asks her if she has a car, crib, and job. She says, why would I need one? That's why she's looking for a man to take care of her and her kids. That men are providers, and she even insults him by asking the question, didn't your mother ever teach you that? Moving on, this one shows you the wonders of makeup, where you can even make a potato look beautiful. So the next time you see some painted up filly on the other side of your screen, remember, you're not falling in love with the real her. You might be falling in love with a woman that has the same skin quality as a Yukon Gold French fry. The question, though, is, would you prefer Amy Schumer or this potato? Number 7 are a couple of recycling cans that show you the difference between a high notch count and a low notch count tart. One is still a tight one trying to find herself, while the other is open wide and ready to settle down. The wider one looks like it would actually have been pounded by Chad and Tyrone. But we all know that she's still going to find some somewhat attractive stupid simp out there to settle down with her. But in reality, this is the guy that she should end up being with. Up next, we have inflation making the prices go up. It's so bad that even those desperate East Asian women no longer love you long time. But we all know that going to another country to find a woman to love is also not the answer. Number 9, we have the voice actress of Dora the Explorer starting a Lonely Pants page. This can't be legit, and I couldn't find any information about it. But I'm sure there are tons of listeners trying to find her Lonely Friends account so they can release their meat spouts. If it's true, now you get to explore her too. Moving on, we have a woman shaming men by saying that if a man leaves a woman after she's the one that cheated on him, then he clearly wasn't a real man. Real men would work things out and help people like that become better. They accept women with flaws like that. I keep hearing this message everywhere, and it makes me think that women believe if they repeat this lie long enough, men will start believing it. When they say real men, it means that they want to shame you. Up next is Eve Lawrence, a spicy content actress, complaining that all men want from her is a cooch. She doesn't want to act like a whore to trap a man in love with her, because we're too weak to resist her fish-flavored taco. She hates the fact that she has helped contribute to the problem by making spicy content as well. She hates her power and says it's not fun anymore. More likely her power is gone now, and she's just saying that so some simp swoops in and rescues her. Number 12, isn't it a great idea to take health advice from health ministers that are morbidly obese? Back in the 80s, Arnold Schwarzenegger was appointed as the chairman of the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports. But today someone like him would be considered having too much toxic masculinity to fit into the muumuu that modern health ministers wear. The state many of these people are in, they couldn't even donate their bodies to science fiction. Number 13 was interesting, and normally I would red pill people. But in this case, I would definitely repeal the 19th Amendment. That would put the nail in the coffin to wokesters and feminists, which is the purple pill. And number 2, I'd become a real pirate by taking the orange pill. Which ones would you do? Moving on, we have a woman complaining that a man should pay for 18 people that came to her party. He says he doesn't want to pay. She ends up shaming him by calling him a broke N-word. Have a listen.
You brought 18 friends. I'm finna leave you. You staying here with them or you coming with me? Whoa, bro!
Number 15, we have a woman that has no clue about what Islam stands for. She doesn't seem to understand that they fling people from the highest rooftop and let gravity do the hard work of ending them. She should travel to Persia or the Middle East, wave that flag, and find out what happens. She also looks super unhealthy and is probably a vegan too. I hope Abdul isn't out back in those rocks. Up next, when a woman tells you that all men think about is sex, show her this image. But I think that the TV remote is missing from the list as well. When men get fleshlights and dolls, women lose their minds. Yet they can still pretty much use anything and everything up their swings. Number 17, you wake up from a steep slumber, and this woman is sitting across from you waiting for you to say something. The rules are that she's a leftist, voted for Joe Biden, and has an IQ higher than 120. First of all, there's no way anyone with an IQ that high would vote for Biden. That must be some sort of trick question. I'd ask her if she was ever touched or sniffed by Joe Biden. If she says no, then I'd ask her if she would like to be. Moving on, we have a woman that's angry that her 7-year-old daughter lied about her husband's girlfriend. I'm guessing that she remarried. Her daughter apparently did that because she was grounded. Her husband is now divorcing her and won't forgive her for not believing him when he denied the allegations. This guy treated the situation like a total boss. Just imagine what that 7-year-old girl is going to be like one day when she gets married. Number 19, we have PewDiePie saying that he's finally free from the content grind by moving to Japan with his wife and starting a family. Someone named Abort Your Son says that misogynist men and their obsession with Japan is not a coincidence. My guess is that she's annoyed that many of the passport bros are heading to Japan to find their brides and leaving her with no attention. Wah! YouTube destroyed PewDiePie's influence because he was too powerful. Up next is another woman I asked you guys if you would smash. And I'm getting some pissed off guys saying stuff like, this is boring. Well, if that's the case, then why does it get over 25,000 views? Most guys are clearly driven by their little head, and if I can use this as bait to get them to basically go their own way, then so be it. Number 21, would you allow yourself to get sealed up with these girls for 24 hours? And they can't say no. Odds are you aren't coming back, but you'd still be coming a lot. Hopefully the sub you're in implodes during the middle of your coom. I guess you won't even be able to see the end coming. As it implodes, you might as well call yourself Captain Crunch. Number 22 is Undead Chronic spreading the word that you shouldn't get engaged to a non-virgin. No hymen, no diamond. Or Pop Cherry, you better not marry. In reality, good luck finding virgins in this day and age unless they're the surgically reinstated kind. You'll have a hard enough time finding one without 3 kids from 3 different convicted criminal fathers. You might need a passport and head to some remote mountains where the women have never seen phones. Moving on, we have a woman named Charisse, complaining about how grown men are referring to other men as Pookie, Ray Ray, and Tyrone. I guess she doesn't like the idea that men are now shaming other men for their simping behaviors. After all, shaming language has been the domain of women forever. And now she wants to shame men that shame men. But it won't work. She also forgot to mention the names Chad and Kevin. Up next, speaking of shame, is a woman that is so angry that the guy she was with told her that if it's yellow to let it mellow in the toilet, and if it's brown to flush it down, that she's shamed him publicly by saying that she went over to his Discord server and found that he was drinking her pee from the toilet, like some sort of lapdog. But who would believe that she's telling the truth? Not me. He probably just dumped her and she's pissed off. Literally. Number 25 in this week's last one is a woman that was so pissed off that a guy on their first date picked her up and was playing awful metal music in his car that she turned it down. He passed the shit test by making an illegal U-turn right then and there, and he took her back home without saying a single word. That guy's a boss, and just to piss off the person that didn't like me asking guys if they would smash these women or not, here's the actual last one for this week. And I definitely would if she was legal, but of course recreational use only. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Remember, I make these for free, so donate if you can at the PayPal and Subscribe Star links below for more content like this. Also, check out MGTOWTV for content you can't get anywhere else. You're definitely going to enjoy it. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.